Good evening, guys. It's Stephen here. Saturday, the 4th of October. 8:30, the day before City play Brentford in the Premier League. A chance to close the gap at the top of the table to just 3 points, which is crazy given the start of the season when everything was looking really, really gloomy. Of course, this is Brentford tomorrow. Victors and conquers of Manchester United last weekend. And this time, obviously, the other half of Manchester, or the actual only part of Manchester, if you want to be really pedantic, the blue side of Manchester, travels to London to play them. So it should be fun. It should be an interesting game. Of course, if you are new to the channel, please give the video a like. Please subscribe. It does help support the channel. And of course, therefore, you get to find out my watch along tomorrow. I think we're going to be on YouTube. It might be on Pick Up. I'm not sure yet. Probably be on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow either way for the game from around 4 o'clock. So let's get into this video and talk about all things Manchester City, because I've got a feeling tomorrow is going to be a pretty fun game of football. So of course, going into this game, I'll show you the Premier League table and where we're currently sat at. Brentford sitting 14th. Liverpool have just lost to Chelsea. The all-conquering, apparently infallible Chelsea. Liverpool, lost 3 games in a row now. That slot steamroller has punctured its tyre. Steamroller? The tracks have come off. There we go. I don't know. Either way, it's very, very, very wonky right now, that Liverpool car, the Liverpool bus, and they're not looking that great. Honestly, it shows you guarantees, and there's no guarantees in football. No amount of money you can spend can guarantee success. It doesn't work that way. You have to have quality. You have to have a plan and a structure. And right now, the new signings, CHERKI, Verts, Frimpong, Etikiki's done all right, but he's a slow start. Akatike, it's not really been set in the world and light, and the players that have moved on from that, out of the team in terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold and so on, they're missing him, I would say. Salah not as effective right now. Van Dijk pretty poor. Gravenberch was at centre back. What's going on? Either way, Liverpool are a quality side, but there was never going to be any guarantee. Slot hasn't got this incredible pedigree. He had a good season, but we saw he had a free run in the league last season because City absolutely bottled it, and Arsenal were Arsenal. So I don't think there's any guarantee, and I think I said that plenty of times that we're overlooking the idea, this idea that Verts is going to come and rip the league was never a guarantee, and so far it's proven true. Win tomorrow, we're 2 points behind Liverpool, 3 points behind Arsenal. So, Arsenal, it might be Arsenal's, it might be Liverpool's, it might be City's. Who knows where it's going to go? But either way, look at the Spurs there, by the way, in third. They'll be loving life right now. Only 2 points off the top of the table. Thomas Frank doing a good job there. So, interesting, very interesting. We're sat in 8th currently. A victory tomorrow will take us up to 5th in the table. A point behind Bournemouth and Spurs, which is mad to say, but they're doing really well. Of course, as well, we're level on points with United right now, so no funny business tomorrow. City, Brentford sat in 14th. They could actually jump ahead of us potentially. Goal difference, no, they would catch us in goal difference, but they'd level us on points anyway, which we don't want that. Nirlan, where do you think this idea... Nirlan in the chat's got this idea that I dislike Doku. It's really funny, by the way, because the internet has this incredible ability to just take one word from a sentence, or 2 or 3, ignoring the rest of the context. My stance on Doku a billion times has always been that I think Doku is a fantastically likeable player, relentless, and I would have him in any squad in world football because I admire his skill, his tenacity, and his incredible unique way to play the game. And I hope he goes far. I said I worried. And that was like a small part of me was worrying that Doku might just be, that's all he might have been. That is what we saw. And Nirlan constantly goes on about me as if I hate Doku. I fucking don't. I've got videos saying, but I've done loads of videos saying I love him. And I do love him as a footballer. I think he's a cracking fun. But I wasn't sure if he become... I don't know. Let's not get too carried away, Nirlan. I don't know about that, true. I fancy my chances in a looks competition. But I've always I was worried about it. I didn't know if he'd take another step, but never said it was impossible. But Doku, anyway. Maybe Nirlan's got a crush on Doku by the looks of it, man. Nirlan clearly has. Good on you, mate. Nirlan's a wonderful man. And Doku's a wonderful man even. Don't know about Nirlan. Might be, might not. But I want every City player to succeed. It's funny. I do. I would love it if Doku became a world-class winger. I didn't see he was going to, and I still worry he's not. It's one thing I will stand by. He's not a natural finisher. I do worry about Doku being a goal scorer. I think he might create an awful lot, but he doesn't strike me as 20 goals a season. I might be wrong there, and once again, this video could blow up in my face, but I do worry about that still, so we'll see anyway. But anyway, back to this game, the overview of it. I go to Guardiola's quotes from the press conference. Guardiola said, I'll go to the team news in a bit. He was asked about Phil Foden being excluded. He said, Thomas knows what he needs for the national team, Thomas Tuchel. 1,000 times, million times, trillion times better than me. All I can say is if Phil plays like he's been playing, he will be back. Happy that the players go to the national team, but I'm even happy when they come back healthy. Basically, he said he's absolutely fine. He's fine. Genuinely fine. That Phil Foden's not being in the squad, and I actually share those. I don't care about Phil Foden not being in the squad. I'm sure Phil does, but yeah. Guardiola was asked about what Phil Foden offers. Said a lot. He's the best player we have in small spaces in the final third by far. Sense of assists, especially sense of goals in small spaces. How he turns in attack and the desire to score a goal. He's the best we have. There you go. I mean, that's from the manager's mouth there, and I absolutely agree. I think he's a wonderful, wonderful footballer, and this season he's showing the form that he should have showed last season. He is now. He was asked about Brentford. I'll get to Brentford. No, I'll talk about Brentford now. He said they're quite similar. Little details, but quite similar to Thomas Frank. They're doing really well, so it's a tough place to go. Same time, looking forward to the last game before the international break. He got quite spiky actually. With a journalist suggested that we conceded because Rodri came off for Nico Gonzalez, and he said, "Are you suggesting they scored because Nico Gonzalez was on the pitch, not Rodri? How do you prove that? Me neither. So change the subject." I love that, by the way. I love the so change the subject. You may as well have just gone not bad at the end, basically. And I absolutely love that. I totally, utterly love Guardiola defending his players like that. But I think Pep actually likes Nico Gonzalez. He's spoken a fair few times now about Nico Gonzalez being incredibly coachable and all this kind of stuff. Here we go. He said, against Burnley, he was much better than Huddersfield, but of course he can do better. But he's so young. He's not Rodri with many years together, not even 1 year together in a tough period. And there are many things that step by step he's going to take it because he's open-minded, he's incredibly coachable, and not all players are, from my experience as a manager. That's Pep saying he likes him, by the way. Like Pep likes players. Pep likes players who are focused, who want to learn, who want to improve themselves. And I think he's got, obviously Nico Gonzalez is not the finished article. And I think right now he's just a good player, man. He's not a great player, but he's a good player. But I think Pep's probably sees a guy who could be a very good player, and who knows where he can go from there. Right now, he's a 7 out of 10 footballer, and by that I mean, he's good. He's obviously good enough to play for most Champions League sides, and he's good enough to play for a team in the top half of the Premier League. Clearly, to be a very good player when you're a starter for a Champions League level side of Manchester City, or to be an excellent player where you're a starter for a Premier League winning side, I don't know how far he'll go, but Guardiola likes him, and and I think it's very obvious to me, that if Guardiola thinks he's got talent and he'll work with him. He was asked once again about Rodri. He said, we cannot play with 12. I know Rodri's irreplaceable in many things. He couldn't play 3 days before because his knee was in a bad condition. And I'd love to tell you that because Rodri's not on the pitch, we conceded the goal, but I cannot prove that. Because if I felt that, Rodri would have been on the pitch. But Rodri cannot play in certain games, maybe 90 minutes for many, many games. And Nico played really good versus Burnley, and he's learning and he's improving, and we need him. Rodri cannot sustain the rhythm for 90 minutes in a game. Sometimes I want the best players there to be fit, but he's still not, so I have to protect my players. Bang on. I think he's 23 years old, isn't he? Nico Gonzalez, so he's really young still. What else did he go on to say? He was asked about Jeremy Doku. He said in the final third he's magnificent, he's top, he's a player giving more assists than ever, but he's still young, has lots of things he has to improve a lot. I saw this stat, I'll show my Twitter here, I shared it earlier, really encouraging. Jeremy Doku has completed 8 through balls last season. He completed 8 total last season across 22 starts. He's got 7 already in 6. One more through ball matches his entire total of last season's starts. That's mad, and it says, adding to that, Doku's 14 shot creating actions for takers last season, 20 starts. He's got 8 already in 6. He's doing way better, statistically miles better. That's really, really encouraging. Massively encouraging. He didn't have much to say about Haaland's frustration. I was saying it's normal, but will improve. Yeah, I like this question about Nico Gonzalez as well. He said he's so young, and of course, even when Roger started his first season at City, he struggled. It's normal. When the player comes into a new environment and new things, you need a process to understand things. But Nico is Nico. He will improve a lot. He can play even more he can even play more forward. Nico, in his early ages in the Barca Academy, played as a more attacking midfielder. It has to be Nico. I don't mean it has to be Nico. But either way, yeah, he'll get better. Very defensive, his players right now, and I like that, you know? He also told Rodri it's going to be a year before he's back, and that's fine. He said, I said to Rodri, maybe he struggled to understand that this is not about 6-7 months. He said, maybe I'm back, I'll play. No. He said he'll be good at the 26 FIFA World Cup with Spain. Next season will be the best Rodri. Yeah, he's normal. He's right. He's absolutely normal, unfortunately. He's happy with the progress too. He said there's a lot of progress. The most happy thing is that the margins have improved. I love that feeling. I had a feeling before that we could do better. It's a feeling I have as a manager. So yeah, absolutely. Let's go into the team news. Where's the team news bit? Let me find some. So he was asked earlier on in the press conference about the fitness. He said, we'll train this afternoon, but it looks good. Everybody finished versus Monaco without a problem. Yeah, absolutely fine. Which is good stuff. So everyone's trained afterwards. Everyone's fine. And also, very interestingly, CHERKI is in the squad. You want to know your source? This wonderful source here. Erling Haaland. Gigi Donnarumma didn't want to sit with me anymore, and now I have to sit with the fat French CHERKI. This guy's one of our captains. What are you doing, Erling Haaland? That is how we all know. And someone replied saying, might not want to sit with you after this. He haven't seen it yet. There's Erling Haaland for you, lads. So Erling Haaland, he's called him the fat French CHERKI. I think that sounds really bad, but I think the very I've seen, like, you've seen the beef jerky memes going around online. I think they're all very aware. Like, from what I can tell, you see CHERKI interacting with players online and so on. Haaland's always online. I think the younger players are chronically online. I think they're very online. They understand all the memes and so on. I think he's clearly referencing the meme that he'll be aware of. I don't think he's literally just randomly calling him like that. Yeah, they're winding each other up. They'll all joke about it, They'll call Haaland a robot, an alien, or whatever. Like, they'll wind him up about things all the time. They all wind each other up. It is funny that it comes from one of our captains, though. It shows you that as much as Haaland wants to be a big man, wants to be the captain, and all that kind of stuff, he is still just a little boy. And I know he's got his baby as well and all that kind of stuff, but he is still a boy. He is still growing and developing and all that kind of stuff. Himself, his identity. He's just a little boy still, man. And he's going to... he'll grow as he gets older, but he's 25 years old, but he's still a boy, And I'm speaking from experience as a now 40-year-old man. I was a boy at 25. I thought I was a man, but I'm not. You ain't a man until you're in your 30s. Trust me on that. A lot of people can be, but most blokes don't fully grow up until they get in their 30s. Trust me. Especially when they're surrounded by blokes like he is all the time. He's just a big boy, isn't he? But that's good news anyway. CHERKI's with the squad. Now, Guardiola did actually say about a week or two ago that he was in training and that he wouldn't be... When was it? A few days ago, that he won't be involved before the international break because he said he's had an injury and the next time he gets a proper injury, it could be a serious one that requires a big operation. Yet here he is travelling. So I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, so he's travelling. He's with the squad. I mean, jokes aside, he's with the squad. Will he be involved? Now, a lot of people, I actually tweeted, I said, what do people think? Do you think he'll be involved then? And loads of people correctly pointed out, probably a 10-minute cameo, but Pep's got previous for just integrating them back into travel and team preparation. I think it's probably that, but also, as Royce said here in the chat, after all he said about Rodri not playing, he proceeded to start him. Yeah, Pep is a liar sometimes. Pep is like, I agree, he's a cold-blooded liar. Watch him play 20 minutes. Yeah, it's always Pep likes the life of fun. He said Rodri won't play, then he plays in the next game. So they're not bad points, There's always a chance that he could play and be involved. Exactly, Normsky. I don't think you ever really grow up. I think you just know when or not to be silly. That's what I would say. You get better at it. I don't feel like I think the best people, by the way, they don't ever grow up really. They just make smarter calls. Like, don't ever, it's sort of cliche, it's a bit of life advice for you. I still feel like the same 10-year-old in awe at video games when I first played a Zelda game, or the same 20-year-old who wants to go out and drink, I can't do it anymore, but wants to. Well, I still have that sense of wonder and awe. You just bring it all with you and add like more experience to your life. Like, I think you don't grow up as such. You just choose your moments better. That's what I would say, because you have to. Anyway, let's get on to the predicted 11. Let's get on to predicted 11. This is the context of this game. This is how we played last time out against Monaco in the 2-2 draw. Rodri was in midfield alongside Tijana Reinders, Phil Foden, Doku and Bernardo Silva out wide. Haaland, of course, with his brace up top. You had Nico O'Reilly, Guardiola, Diaz and John Stones ahead of big Gianluigi Donnarumma. I'm not expecting many changes. A few changes, but not a lot of changes. Kusanov and Ait Nouri and Marmoush are just not available yet, unfortunately. So no Kusanov, no Marmoush, and no Ait Nouri. I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes. The reliable ones, this guy, your Donnarumma is in goal. Your O'Reilly's left back. Guardiola and Diaz, man, they're going to start again. Stones ain't starting again. I don't think he's going to start again. I think Nunes will get the nod because I don't think Stones is very good there, personally. I do think Rodri will get the nod here as well, personally. I might be wrong, but I think he will do. I'm expecting Reinders. I'm expecting out wide on the right. Back off the new contract, Savinho. That's my prediction. Haaland up there. Why did it just skip over 2 positions then? I don't know why I did that. This is going to be Doku. That's going to be Foden. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be that. I don't think Bernardo Silva will get a start on the right in this game. He was poor the other day, Bernardo Silva. I love you, Bernardo, but you can't start him, man, against Brentford like that. No chance. I think Savinho will get a start on the right. Hasn't been great, but the new contract. And by the way, I do think, look, regardless of how you feel about Savinho, I do think we have to be realistic about where he's at and what we can achieve now. I understand the frustrations around Savinho, but we have to be realistic. He is here to stay. And the Spurs stuff is a distraction, but he's 21 years old. And some people said he shouldn't be getting a new contract. He hasn't proven that he earned it. Bear in mind, he was probably on a really low wage, like a pretty low wage. Because he came from Troyes, he's not Girona. Don't forget, he came from the French second-tier side. So we signed him from that. His wages would have been very low in the first place. And we're basically rewarding him not because of his lack of goals, but because he got the most assists for us last season. He's our best creator last season, which is an absolute fact in one of the worst Manchester City sides in absolutely ages. So Savinho got basically City. It's called diplomacy. City have gone, we trust in you. We want you to stay. We've rejected this money, and they've gone, well, are you going to show me that? What's going on? And they've gone, we'll sort your contract out. We'll all move on. Deal done. Yes. Done. It's basically that, man. That's what's happened. They've all agreed to move on, but also reward him for having a decent season last year, and he did. Everyone criticised him for missing so many chances, and his form went off the boil last season. But it started really well. That's a fact. And I think we've been a bit selective pretending he did nothing good last season at all. He had a really good really good spell at the start of the season. He had some fantastic assists. Some of the crosses for Haaland, or even just passes for Haaland, were really good. He then went off the boil, absolutely. But City was shite last season, and Savinho couldn't keep up with the Premier League. 21 years old, man. 21 years old. Let's see how it goes. I think he's going to get a start tomorrow. Doku's obviously going to start. Haaland's going to start. Foden's going to start. Rodri. Reinders could start. Nico Gonzalez could start here, but I don't really see many changes. O'Reilly, Vardio, Diaz, Donnarumma nailed on. I think Nunes gets the option. Kovacic is available potentially. Kovacic has been in training. There could be a surprise Kovacic start. For like a Reinders or Rodri. I don't think so. You could see Silva start again out wide on the right. I don't think Bob will. I don't think Rico Lewis will. I don't think Stones or Ake will. I think it's going to be something like this, personally. That's my prediction. Let me know yours. CHERKI, if he does play, it'll be off the bench towards the end, I reckon. Yeah, for 20 minutes here and there. Predicted at 11. Opposition. Let's talk about Brentford a little bit. Brentford currently sat in 14th. Last time out, of course, they played Manchester United Football Club and they gave them a spanking, which was quite fun. Where has it gone? There it is. 3-1 win. Igor Thiago, Matthias Jensen. This is how they're playing under Keith Andrews. Henderson and Yarmolenko behind Damsgaard. And, Iwatara and Shader and Thiago. It's a good forward line, man. They are very similar to what they were, I think they've got a bit of potential, bit of an injury boost as well. I think Reece Nelson, Fabio Carvalho might be back, and Gustavo Nunes could also be back too, which would be a bit of a boost for them. But, that's how they lined up in defence. Collins, Aaron Hickey, Van den Berg, Coyote, Kelleher in goals. Been a decent signing for them as well, actually. He's been pretty good. Good signing for them, actually, to be fair, after Flecker went. Last time before, they did lose 3-1. Pretty much a similar team, but they went 5 at the back in that game. Pinnock, Lewis Potter, Shade, Thiago. You'll see the players. Look, you know who they're all about. Damsgaard's a cracking player. They will be relentless. They'll be hard-working. They're direct. They are physical. They're aggressive. Also, they've got a lot of pace out wide, as always. Thiago's been a good signing so far. Henderson brings experience. It's a physical midfield. And they'll be very, very aggressive, Not perfect, but aggressive. Sunderland did beat them 2-1. They did also lose to Forest 3-1. They beat Aston Villa. They've had a mixed season so far, but they'll take it given everything. They've lost an awful lot of quality in Visser and, of course, Wemo. That's the other guy. I forgot, of course, the manager and Thomas Frank. But 2 wins, so far 7 points is not bad. A win takes them, 9th ahead of United, and also only a goal difference behind us, which they'll be clean on. I am confident, though. I'm confident about this. I think City are going to win this. My prediction is that City win this game. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. I've got a strong feeling about tomorrow. I've got a feeling, we're going to be okay tomorrow. It's going to be physical, be aggressive, but I'm expecting City to learn the lessons from the Monaco game where Guardiola and Haaland in particular noted that, we weren't aggressive enough in the second half. I think we'll come out determined to fix those wrongs, and I think we'll manage it as well. Yeah, so I'm going to go tomorrow, City to win. We're going to concede 3-1, I reckon. We're going to score. We're scoring a lot at the moment. I might be wrong there. Touch wood. Literally touch wood. But Haaland, I can't see anything other than a Haaland brace. It's really hard not to. The other goal in 3. Don't know. Random player. Savinho. There we go. There's one for you to surprise everyone. Reinders to shut the haters up would be nice as well, actually. Yeah. I thought Reinders was alright against Monaco, by the way. I expect we will concede to Thiago or someone like that. But I think we'll be alright tomorrow, and I think we'll enjoy it. We will see. As I said, my watch along will be on the probably here tomorrow around 4:15 or 4 o'clock. I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all loads. Let me your comments in your predictions in the comments below. Subscribe. Catch you all later. Bye bye. Have a wonderful evening.